Alright, so just survived a hurricane and wanted to get some more Patreon requests out. I am aware that I do have a list of Patreon requests, but yeah, I just went through a storm and dealing with some other shit behind the scenes. So yeah, just trying to get through the day by day. So, but I do intend on doing everyone's Patreon requests um, at all at some point. Anyway, so as always, if you'd like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link below. Head on over to my Patreon and hit the link below. If you hit the fourth tier, you can not only send me a Patreon request, but you can also check out the exclusive content over on Patreon as well. So this Patreon comes from Tom Hibbert. Yeah, so Tom Hibbert asked me to do a crossover that I was so giddy about doing when I finally got around to it, and I finally got a chance to get around to it, and I was so just happy at the thought of doing this because it's two things I really love and two things I want to talk more about. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is none other than Mars Attacks Killer Klowns from Outer Space. So we got a Mars Attacks Killer Klowns crossover. It was just something I really want. I really want a Mars Attacks Killer Clowns crossover. I would absolutely fucking love a Killer Clowns Mars Attacks crossover. I don't know who owns the comic rights to Killer Clowns. I don't know if anyone does, but Dynamite has Mars Attacks. And I would love nothing more than to see this be a real thing. So, how would a Mars Attacks Killer Clowns crossover go? So, in this crossover, I was thinking that basically there's a lost history between the Martians and the Clowns. There was a war that spun out of control across the galaxy ages ago. Basically, the Martians were looking in their early days of planetary exploration. They were going out into the universe, and they found the Clown homeworld, and the Clown homeworld was not too kind to them. So they attacked the exploration teams and then chased them all the way back and Clowns attack Mars. So the Clowns came, they killed a lot of Martians, but and then they left after killing a whole shit ton, and that's what led to the Martians forming a new government that was more militaristic, as well as they were more bloodthirsty and wanted to be conquerors, and they wanted to get at the Clowns. So before Earth was more or less, this is when mankind is still in the Ice Age, and the Martians and the Clowns were raging across the galaxy, just wrecking the shit out of each other. They were just completely decimating one another in probably one of the bloodiest wars in the galaxy, until eventually it became a stalemate, and neither the Clowns nor the Martians won the war. So we fast forward now to the present day, and what has happened is that the Clowns have been spotted again by the Martians. They basically saw what happened last time, but they weren't ready. They knew that back in the 80s when they attacked Crescent Cove, the Martians were like, oh, they're still alive. We're gonna get those fuckers next time. So this time, when the Clowns came back in a bigger fleet and started to attack Earth, what happens is the Martians also attack Earth. They go after the Clowns. Now you may be thinking, oh, this is like Alien and Predator, where we team up with the human-Martian alliance begins. Nope, it is literally like Alien versus Predator. Whoever wins, we lose, and Earth becomes a battleground between the Martians and the Clowns. And could you just picture what would it be like if the Clowns and Martians went to war? You have all these kooky gory 50s sci-fi stuff going up against all these wacky gags that the Clowns have. The Clowns basically defy physics when battling the Martians, who are all about science. They're trying to use a ray gun on them. One of the Clowns takes out a hole, like a black hole. Just it goes in, he spins it around, it spits it back at the Martian, it just kills it. There's another one with the Martian mutating some bugs to kill clowns. Another is I wanted to have like these fun ideas, like just for random battles between the Martians and the clowns, where the clowns would basically use like balloon animals. Like they would create fucking balloon animals, and they would like become carnivorous and whatnot, and just swarm, just swarm Martians and just start like eating them. Like, ah! They just swarm, like just balloon animals swarming a Martian. And he's like, gak, 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 and you just like see the hands sinking into the mass, and all that's left is Martian bones by the end of it. There's also like I wanted to have like some fun things like they're like when they're battling the giant mech suits the Martians have. A bunch of clowns get together and like make a giant shadow puppet of like Godzilla, and it just blows away the Martian ship. There's also like let's see what like there were so many other like fun ideas. I thought it would be kind of fun to really play with in this idea, because it's really just Martians battling clowns in the most Looney Tunes kind of way you would ever think of. Like it's just one Looney Tunes scenario after the other with the clowns. But a lot of the clowns do die. Like obviously they have the weak point, the nose, and also getting vaporized into bones also doesn't help either. There's also that the clowns also use like the popcorn to like they actually like take a hose, jam it into a Martian ship, into a Martian suit, and the popcorn just starts eating the Martian's face from the inside. It's like and all you see is just a skull there. As for the Martians, like I wanted to have like this fun scene where one of the Martians like grabs a clown and is like, "Ha, got you now!" And and the clown like has his arm like a gag arm, and it pops off, and then the arm comes alive, and it just starts like choking the Martian, kind of like how in the movie the fake hand comes up, stabs the guy, the president in the back, and it becomes a Martian flag. Yeah, this was just more of like, this story is more like just the initial idea, and more of let's just have some fun kooky gags in this story. So anyway, I'd like to thank all of you guys for watching, and I'd like to thank Tom Hibbert for sending this Patreon and continued patronage over on Patreon. And like I said, if you would like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link below, head on over there, hit the 4th tier where you guys can send me requests for pretty much anything within reason. Anyway, once again, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.